Invasive, non-native plant species have invaded the Sierra Nevada foothills. John Williams, representing the city of Roseville and also spearheading the Adopt a Creek program, along with Lydia Sizlove from the city of Rockland, lead a group of volunteers to investigate the infestation. Causing millions of dollars in damage, invasive plants clog our waterways, endanger our wildlife, erode stream banks, and can increase the intensity of wildfires. While our volunteers begin the arduous task of destroying invasive plants, John Williams identifies 6 other invasive species.
So this is a really bad invasive as well. It's Chinese tallow tree. It was brought here during the time of the miners. From what I understand, it was used as a living fence post. It grows readily from cuttings, so it's also a sacred tree to the Chinese. And I believe it's called tallow tree. I think it has a lot of fat content, so they would render this down for fat back in the old days and make soap with it and things like this. It was a really important plant in the gold rush, but it's now taken over our waterways. It's got this characteristic shaped leaf. It gets some red this time of year, but really invasive, really aggressive. And so the other invasives we have right here, we got Himalayan blackberry that's just really ubiquitous in our waterways and all the open spaces here. It's the predominant species that's growing along our waterways, and it's the blackberry that we eat, real similar to a lollyberry or marionberry. It's a good eating berry, and so I suspect that's why it's here. It escaped from gardens. The birds spread it by seed. It grows readily by seed, or it makes runners by rhizome, so it spreads really easy. Doesn't do much for to hold the banks. It's a bad problem. It's got thorns. It's kind of it's a big issue in California. It's taken over everything. And then this one here, we have the pampas grass. This is an import from South America. People use it ornamentally in landscaping, and it's real pretty. You see it blooming right now, and it's a really hard one to get rid of. It spreads readily, and it has a very narrow window that it can be killed with herbicides, typically between October and end of November. It's kind of the one window that it uptakes the herbicides and can kill it. It's not too hard to kill if you get it during that time, but even there's a big root ball here, and even if you kill it, it's taking up a lot of space here. So really hard one because you need a backhoe or a team of labor to pull this out of here, and there's still a big root mass. So, and as you can see, there's flowers over there. They're all full of seeds, and kids typically like to grab those and stick them on the back of their bike and ride around and spread them all over the place. So they're just it's a really tough plant to get rid of. It's from South America originally, and it takes over our coastal areas really bad in the eroded slope. So this is a red Sesbania plant. It's in the pea family. It's a legume, and they always have this characteristic leaf structure. It's a compound leaf, unique to legumes. It fixes nitrogen from the atmosphere, and by the use of root nodules. And so it puts nitrogen into the soil, so it's really perfect invasive plant for something like a sandbar that has no nutrients to speak of. It's a great colonizer, and so it's also the reason why it was imported to this country, because it was used as a cover crop. I'm not sure this is arundo, but arundo donax is a giant reed. It was brought to this country to make rattan furniture. And it's from Southeast Asia. It's apparently the favorite food of Southeast Asian elephants. And it's a really big problem here. Like I said, I'm not sure this is arundo, but it definitely looks like it, and it's got the same habit. It's a reed that's definitely doesn't look native, and it spreads by sections. Any section with a node can sprout and root. It gets really big and heavy and falls down and erodes the banks. Similar to over there, we have some eroded banks. Arundo just doesn't do anything to help the banks. It has really shallow-rooted tubers, and they fall down and take parts of the bank with them. And it floats, and it takes over big swaths. Nothing really eats it in this country, and it's a really bad invasive. It's taken over huge areas all over California and the western states. Okay, so this one is pokeweed, and it's characteristic with this really pretty red stem. It's got what turns into really pretty purple berries as well, and really big leaves. And it's a native to the east coast. Here's the purple berries here. The entire plant's poisonous. The pioneers, the Native Americans ate it, but you have to boil it 3 times, the foliage, to be able to eat it. It's supposed to taste like a turnip green or spinach. And there's a famous song, Poke Salad Annie, that Elvis did. It was originally by Tony Joe White, a Cherokee guy. And it's a problem in our watershed because it just doesn't have any natural enemies. There's nothing that really eats it. It's a poisonous plant, so it's harmful for livestock. It's harmful for kids and people. It definitely looks like something that's edible with these purple berries, so pets and kids could eat them, not knowing any better. And it's about the only good thing about it is it's really easily identifiable. There's nothing native that looks even remotely like this. So it's an annual plant, so as long as we cut it and pull it out of the waterway, we can do a good number on this one and get pretty effective results.
The hyacinth was introduced into the United States as a gift from Japanese visitors to the 1884 New Orleans World's Fair. A native to South America, the plant is considered the most destructive introduced aquatic plant species in the world. Hyacinths can reproduce either through short runners or through seeds. Seeds germinate within just a few days or can remain dormant for up to 20 years. The plant's growth rate is one of the fastest of any aquatic plant species, reproducing and doubling in size every 12 days. Just 1 acre of water hyacinths can create 500 tons of decaying plant matter.
I just heard we're being attacked by extraterrestrial plant life. How can I help?
Thanks for volunteering. Here is where you can get more information on how to help.
I'm Lydia with the City of Rockland. I'm here to discuss volunteering program for Adopt a Creek within the City of Rockland. You can adopt a creek and sign up on our city's website. You just go on there and look for Adopt a Creek. Volunteering opportunities are under the Parks and Rec program, and there's opportunities for volunteering for all ages.
You or your organization can volunteer for either short, one-day events or longer sessions through the Adopt a Creek program. For educators, Adopt a Creek offers an outstanding opportunity for students to gain practical experience in environmental science. The City of Roseville has a very active Adopt a Creek program. They can be reached at parks@roseville.ca.com. Protecting our watershed is everybody's responsibility. Please join us.
It's a good idea. Maybe I can get the people at the neurosurgery clinic to help. Well, I'm a neurosurgeon, you know.
This program has been brought to you by the Dry Creek Conservancy.
Whoa, just a minute. Stop those credits. You did a good job on warning us about the dangers introduced by plants into our watershed, but, well, where can I get further information on which plants I should not plant in my watershed and backyard, and what I can plant?
Great questions. Here are 3 resources: the California Introduced Plant Council, the University of California at Davis, and Plant Right. Oh, and don't forget, the 3rd Monday in July, when we should celebrate the California Invasive Weeds Awareness Week. I hope these suggestions will be of help. May I roll the credits now?
Thanks for the added information. Roll those credits now.
As I was saying, this program was produced by the Dry Creek Conservancy, dedicated to facilitating watershed restoration and education within the American River watershed. Help us preserve our heritage. Join us. Get involved. www.drycreekconservancy.org. Other videos produced by the DCC concerning the American River watershed can be found at www.youtube.com/user/MichaelStark1 or on user/RosevilleTV.